If you've made it to this video, congratulations on surviving a pandemic that claimed millions of lives worldwide. And as you are here watching this, we've got a new sensation going viral all around the globe. That's none other than monkeypox. It's okay, we can hear you screaming, "Not again!" Lately, these diseases have been acting like that boss who texts you after hours, piling up one after another when you're about to shout, "I'm home, sweetheart." But this is not the first time we were made to face this. Similar incidents have occurred in the past, and some of them would make our little SARS-CoV-2 look amateurish. Welcome to Science Today, where we present to you the latest news and research within science and technology. In today's video, we'll talk about monkeypox, and could it be our next pandemic? Monkeypox is a rare disease caused by the monkeypox virus. It belongs to the orthopox virus genus and the same family of smallpox. Yep, they're relatives. When infected with the virus, it gives rise to fever, skin rash or lesions, severe headache, swollen lymph nodes, and frequent tiredness. It may take a week or two for the symptoms to show up once you contract the disease. Usually the rash starts 2 to 3 days after the onset of fever, with a higher concentration on the face, from where it slowly spreads to your hands and soles of the feet. Also, there could be several hundred or even thousands of lesions filled with fluid. Certainly, you wouldn't love to get one of these. But what's the likelihood for you to get infected by this and go through one hell of a life experience? Unlike the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which can be transmitted by someone sneezing a few feet apart, the monkeypox virus is hard to transmit. In fact, it would require very close contact to spread. Exchanging body fluids, skin-to-skin contact, or prolonged physical contact with clothes or bedding used by an infected person is what it would take to transmit it. In some cases, intimate sex has led to the transmission, wherein either of them had infected skin lesions. Do you know that it's been more than 50 years since we discovered this virus? For the first time in Copenhagen in 1958, an outbreak of a pox-like disease occurred among some monkeys kept for research. Monkeys, pox, monkeypox. That's how it got the name. The first human case was identified in 1970 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Since then, many cases have been reported in neighborhood African countries. Since the year 2017, Nigeria has seen a large outbreak with more than 200 confirmed cases. It's not just monkeys that are host to this virus. Squirrels, dormice, Gambian pouch rats, and many other species have been found to carry these inside them. To point out an incident, the first monkeypox outbreak outside of Africa happened in 2003 in the US. Patient 0, in other words, the first person to catch the disease, was found to have caught this from an infected pet prairie dog purchased from an animal distributor. Prior to this, the dog had been housed with Gambian pouch rats and dormice that were imported from Ghana. Well, you know, viruses are always in the wanderlust mode. Over 70 cases were recorded in the US later that year. The current outbreak started in the UK with a British resident who travelled to Nigeria, where monkeypox is considered an endemic. These rashes have a resemblance to sexually transmitted diseases like herpes and syphilis. As a result, many of these cases were picked up at sexual health clinics as people were concerned when they noticed it on their bodies. Before we discuss the possibility of another pandemic, let's make this clear. An endemic is a disease outbreak which is constantly present in a region with a predictable rate of spread. It becomes an epidemic when the cases rise suddenly within a specific area. And finally, when it goes out of hand, affecting several countries and population with an exponential increase in cases day by day, the World Health Organization declares it as a pandemic. Thus, the difference between an epidemic and a pandemic is the degree to which a disease has spread and has nothing to do with how lethal it's been. As we explained before, monkeypox has been in existence for more than half a century. Unlike the coronaviruses, they haven't undergone any rapid mutation to pose a new threat to mankind so far. Though some of the recent cases had no connection to African countries, investigations are still underway to trace their exact sources. It is still a serious illness with possible complications like inflammation of brain tissue, sepsis, bronchopneumonia, and infection of the cornea, which can lead to loss of sight. To add further, if the lesions form together, it may cause the skin to fall off in large chunks. In Africa, 1 in every 10 cases ended up with these serious complications and resulted in death, which is almost a death rate of 6 to 10%. When compared to its relative smallpox, which killed 1 out of every 3 infected people, monkeypox is far less lethal. But there is some good news to it. In a majority of cases, the symptoms generally last only 2 to 4 weeks and go away even without treatment. Lesions will fall off the body once they dry and form scabs. Also, with proper medical care, the death rate has been brought down to 1% in countries with better infrastructure. Recent transmission of monkeypox through sex was seen a lot between men who had sex with men. Unfortunately, this has given a chance for homophobic groups to point their fingers at someone. For their kind information, regardless of someone's gender or sexual orientation, anyone can get infected with monkeypox if they had been in close physical contact with the infected person, no matter whether they are men, women, transgender, gay, or whatever. We've seen this before during the COVID pandemic when a group was blaming the Chinese citizens and immigrants for the spread. Few of them even went to the extent of calling corona straight to the face of all Asians, irrespective of their origin. Since this virus is closely related to the smallpox virus, we can adopt the treatment procedures we followed for the latter with a little change. Also, the smallpox vaccine can prevent us from being infected. Past data from Africa have shown that the smallpox vaccine has an efficiency of at least 85% when it comes to preventing monkeypox. Today, most people below the age of 40 to 50 haven't received a smallpox vaccine. This is because in 1978, the disease was eradicated globally, and 2 years later, it was declared officially by the World Health Assembly. This would put a lot of current generation people at risk of monkeypox exposure. Despite all that, we can confidently say that our scientists and frontline workers are somewhat familiar with how monkeypox spreads and the measures that can be used to contain it. With no mutation identified so far, the current surge in cases is more likely a result of a boom in travel as people try to reconnect post-lockdown. In April 2020, during the COVID pandemic, the United States registered the least air passengers of around 90,000 per day. Now it has grown to 2 million daily passengers, close to the average of 2.5 million per day we had before the pandemic. According to the experts, the self-limiting nature of monkeypox makes it extremely unlikely to cause worldwide chaos in the same way that COVID-19 did. On a final note, if you think you have these symptoms and have been in close contact with someone infected lately, seek immediate medical help. Clean your hands from time to time and maintain proper hygiene so that monkeypox or any other pathogens would social distance themselves from you. Also, to get the right facts and information, visit the World Health Organization's website at www.who.int so that we don't end up stigmatizing people for our false notions. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon with the latest science updates. Until then, let your thoughts flow in the comments below. Click on the bell icon and give us a like if possible.